Hello everyone, I hope you like sunflowers because today we got 5 fall farmhouse sunflower DIYs. This is Whitney with Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots, and welcome back to my channel. I'm excited to show you guys all my sunflower goodness, so let's jump into the first DIY. Now this is a little arrangement, we're going to make an arrangement, but this is a little drawer here I got at Hobby Lobby some years ago, so I mean years, I'm talking years guys here. I did not pay $8 for it, but I honestly couldn't tell you how much I paid for it. Probably 50% off of that, who knows. Anyway, what happened was a while back I made a video on how to fill containers, so that right there is some spray expanding foam. You can get it in the like the home improvement aisle at Walmart. And what I'm going to do to this is I'm just going to add these little finial caps to the bottom. So we're going to place some feet on here because I didn't want to leave the drawer just by itself. I thought it was cute. Put these little caps on it. I got those at Walmart and it's a package of 8. So I used the smaller ones out of it. These are the larger finial caps that I use for feet in there. So just a combination of wood glue and hot glue and you're in business. And I just glued those on, kind of cleaned up some of the wood glue that squishes out. So I put all 4 of those on. Remember I put wood glue, a little bit of hot glue for immediate hold. And then those, once that, obviously once that cures, they're not coming off. So I also didn't want to leave them the raw wood that they were. So I like the way they look on there, but of course I had to change them somehow. So I have this right here. Okay, hold on. Sorry. A little ahead of myself. Guess I can't remember what I did. I'm carving out the top of that so I can lay it flat upside down because we're going to stain the feet. So I'm carving some of that off the top. And this right here is a mixture of water, black chalk paint, and antique wax, brown antique wax from Waverly. And that's just a mixture that I've had and I use it. And I've been using that forever and just kind of watering it back down. But this is all I'm doing is just putting some color on the wood. And I'm wiping it off, then adding a little bit more, wiping it off, adding a little bit more. Kind of got it on the actual drawer itself. So then I decided I'll just cover the drawer bottom with it. I didn't cover the whole thing with it because it didn't really make that big of an impact on it. It wasn't like, completely messing the whole thing up. Just a little bit. I only messed it up a little bit. Also, it's the bottom. So, again, if you come over and you're picking up my stuff in my house, you're going to see some behind the scenes. But this little girl was super fun to make. So, our first order of business is we're going to put all kinds of stuff in it. But look at these, you guys. They're new from Dollar Tree. These little mushrooms. I get cuteness aggression. They're about up there with the pumpkins with me, guys. Those little mushrooms from Dollar Tree, seriously, yeah, catching the feels for them. So the rest of these sunflowers right here are a leftover bunch of a bundle I got at Michael's years ago. I've used them for something, so I'm using the leftovers of that, and then I've got various Dollar Tree and Michael's and picks and all that kind of stuff. So what I did here was grab some Spanish moss, and I didn't glue or pin the Spanish moss down because all these little picks here from Dollar Tree and then also the sunflowers and stuff, as I place them in, I'll be gluing these in. So this is a permanent arrangement. We'll see that for sale on my coffee page. I am going to glue them in. As you glue your picks in, you're going to pass through the Spanish moss, and that secures it. That Spanish moss isn't going to go anywhere and as much as we're going to put in here, trust me, we did not need to put extra glue. Once that glue hardens, it'll be harder for you to put your picks through it. So just use your Spanish moss or raffia or whatever you're using as a base to cover up your kind of, your behind the scenes there. You don't really have to glue it or pin it down. We're going to put enough picks in. Like I said, it won't be going anywhere. So just place these things in any kind of order that makes you happy. I knew that the sunflowers were fairly large, so they're going to be the main event. So I kind of put those in early, and then the rest of it is kind of filling in around the edges. This right here is also from that same pick, so I'm using that whole entire what was left over of that bundle from Michael's, and then the rest is all, kind of added. So here I'm going to turn these cute, look how cute they are when they're out of the package. It gets cuter. I couldn't believe it. Also, they're styrofoam, guys. I mean, they're cute. Cute as all get out. I can't get over how cute they are. So I'm going to turn it into a pick. So that is a stem, a little wire stem from the sunflower bundle. So I just used that, and we're going to turn this mushroom into a pick. So I'm just placed a hole in it, put some glue at the end of it, and then put that right back into the guide hole that we already made. And then we made it into a little pick. And that's all cute. Your cuteness aggression is a real thing, man. When you see stuff and you want to squeeze it, like they always say pinching baby's cheeks is another one. Like it's so cute, you want to touch it and you want to squeeze it and pet it and bring it home and name it. But anyways, I ended up using 2, but you'll see me put the other mushroom in later on at the end of the arrangement. This right here, those little yellow guys, I just got at Michael's recently. If you were there for one of my live streams, I did a Michael's and I think Hobby Lobby haul. I can't remember what I did a haul. And I got them super cheap. They were crazy discounted. So I think I got the bundle for super, like it was change. It was under $1. And I think they add just the right amount of yellow to it. I'm not putting any of those greener leaves in, but I am putting the yellow flowers in. I'm also having to glue the ends back onto them because I have an issue with flowers that fall apart. It makes my eye twitch. It irritates me, but I still buy them. And then I glue them back together. So most of the time, if the arrangement's coming from me, there's a high likelihood that I've glued most of it together and they will not come apart. And then here's my second mushroom. I was like, oh, I just need 1, but no, I had to add 2. I couldn't say no. And you know what? They got them in different colors too, guys. This is just the brown ones, and and I left them as is. They look so cute. I can't help it. I know it's a sunflower video, but I'm freaking out over these mushrooms. What do you guys think? I think it just makes it so cute, so fall. And you know what? I didn't use the pumpkins. Did you guys notice that? I think I might need someone to come check me, something's wrong. I didn't use the pumpkins. I had grabbed the pumpkins, but I felt like those little Walmart pick pumpkins with the orange in it was just too bright. I wanted this to be more on the muted side, more of that, classic fall. But again, with the muted colors, the other brighter orange would have been too much. So it's just a mixture of a couple different Dollar Tree picks and then an old leftover sunflower pick, a container from Hobby Lobby. Oh, there's a glue string right there. I just saw glue string. How did I miss that? I will be running out to my craft room and removing that promptly upon finishing this voice recording. But anyways, now look how cute. Tell me what you guys think. And then also, have you guys seen these mushrooms, because they're my new thing. So now our second of 5 DIYs is I'm going to take this wall decor sign from Dollar Tree. I used one of these previous in the Mother's Day gift thing that I made earlier this year. But these things I thought would be hard to take apart, because the one I did make before for my mom for Mother's Day was not easy to take apart. Once I got my scraper under there, it just literally gave no protest at all. It just came right off. So I pulled all the nails out. That's good. Took the little extra piece off. Saved that. Now, the arduous task of scraping this paint off of the glass. I've seen a lot of people have a much easier time. It's going to probably depend on the dang sign, and then also your climate, where you live, all those things. That took me forever, but look how it does come off cleanly. And I don't have any acetone nail polish remover because I have nails that I pay for and I am not ruining them. I mean, and even then, maybe, I don't think it's acetone. It might not be for my toenails, but anyways, my idea here was to put this sunflower in. It was an extra that just was in my stash somehow. It must have fallen off of a bush, but it didn't fit. So second plan B, I'd always planned on putting these craft sticks on here. Now these are the jumbo ones that are giant or jumbo ones you can get at Walmart. Now what I'm going to do is just line the back of that, and I'm going to cut them to fit, and then we're going to stain them. But what I originally wanted to do was place that sunflower in there and then be done with it. This is supposed to be a fast DIY, and this ended up turning into I don't want to tell you guys how long it actually took me, because I cut out a lot of this, but trust me, it took me way too long just because I hadn't planned on doing what I did. And even at the end, I really want you guys to tell me in the comments what you think, because I'm still on the fence about it. So it took 6 of those, but one of them we are going to split in half. So we're going to just place these on after you size them up, cut them with scissors. They're very easy to cut. Maybe do a little trimming here and there. As I'm placing them down, I'm just making sure that they sit up right next to each other pretty snugly, because if you flip them over, there's sometimes you can get some gaps. It's just like all the Dollar Tree wood. This stuff is not straight. It's not plumb. The stuff doesn't match. Even if it's an identical item, it's going to be off. Same thing. It's all wood sticks. So just measure that last one out, and then with my scissors, it split right down the middle very easily. And then there, we're covering that up. So I didn't think that was detrimental to the pattern. Also, by the time we're done with our project, you'll see you don't notice it. So that's my Americana Oak gel stain. Now, my favorite color is walnut, but I am running out of it, so I'm using the oak on this one. And I'm actually pretty pleasantly surprised. It is a lighter color, but it's a nice color. So here, we're going to do plan B is I bought these It says 9 sheets sunflower. These are rub-on transfers I got from Amazon. So I have 9 sheets of them, but there are multiple rub-on transfers in here, and I'm going to show you each one of them. Now, these are a little weird in my opinion. They're not like a rub-on transfer I've got. Now, my experience with them will be from, obviously from Dollar Tree, and then also I've gotten some IOD ones and a couple off of Amazon, and they've all been a flat matte, very loose, piece of cellophane over the top type thing. These work like stickers, and when I opened them, when I got my order from Amazon, and these are linked in the store, so let me tell you, they are pretty. They're just different. So you'll see right here, I choose this little L-shaped one here. Yeah, I like that one. So we're going to put that one on. And for a second, I go, wait a minute, maybe I bought stickers because they're super shiny. And then I had to do a little experiment. So I put a butterfly off to the side just to make sure. I'm like, did I buy stickers? Or were they, were they labeled wrong? Because a lot of times you'll see misleading stuff everywhere. But they're not. They are a rub-on transfer. So you're just going to do the same process you do if it was a Dollar Tree transfer or an IOD or any other type of normal transfer. So it actually gives you a little peel thing right here. See that at the end? You can peel that off pretty easy, but it is very sticky like a sticker is. So it does not give you any room for error. So make sure if you were to get these, they are linked in my Amazon store should you choose to. That's in the description and pinned in my first comment. But they are pretty. They're just different. Now here, I'll show you. As I pull it back, it really does work like a sticker. So the part where the transfer is not sticky, but the rest of it is. I took the backing and burnished it, but do you see how shiny that is? It's just a different type of transfer, but it is a rub-on transfer of some sort. I almost think that it's almost like a peel and stick, almost like a sticker, because the rest of it was sticky as well. So in any event, I'm still liking them. I would suggest you get them. They are a very decent price, and there are some really cute ones in there. That little truck and gnome were really cute. So what I did was I took my blade and I put the cuts in it in between the slats there of our wood sticks that we made our background. Sarah showed you how it looks before you cut it. So then I put the line through it with the box cutter, and then I'm kind of using my thumb and my fingernail to kind of push them into the grooves, and then that's where you're going to get it looks more like it was put on, the cute little wood backing. Makes a difference. It's just a small little detail that I prefer, that I thought made it look cute. If you guys don't like it, you ain't gotta do it. You just do what makes you happy. That made me happy, so I did it. Now, here is the next nightmare. I bought these cute little typewriter stamps. Now the stamps, I will suggest 100,000% because they're super cute. It's like American typewriter. They're called pegs stamps. I'd seen someone use them and I was like, I have to have the set. So I bought the full set. And again, they are linked in my Amazon store should you choose to buy them, but they are super cute. This particular maiden voyage is probably not the best, so don't judge because I had to use that apostrophe for the your. But they are cute. I'm going to put a lot more stuff. I'm going to put the word pumpkin or candy corn or Halloween or spooky. It's just a very cute, very, very cute way to do things. You can stamp, different fabrics and different papers and different things here. I had the great idea to take one of these galvanized metal tags from Dollar Tree and place that in my little sunflower box. And I was going to put the saying, "You're my sunflower." Now, had this not been a metal stamp, and this is also my first time ever using it, I'm thinking this is going to be great. Well, Whitney, no, you can't see them. And I'm like, well, is my stamp broken? Let me just try this again. Maybe I didn't ink it up enough. No, they're good. There's a solid stamp all the way through. And I'm like, okay, let me try it on not metal. Am I going to have to return this to Amazon? This is literally what was going through my head, guys. Am I going to return this to Amazon? And I'm like, no, look, that one's perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's just the fact that I used metal. So with a baby wipe, that came right off the metal. It came right off my little paper there. So I went and got some cardboard and a piece of scrapbook paper because I didn't have any good linen or any good thick paper that didn't have a pattern on it. So I just got some white paper and I traced it out. I also traced out the same tag on the cardboard. And the cardboard, I'm going to just, I tested out my stamp again a few more times. Again, I won't make you sit through that. I also got this distressed oxide stamp because it is a very good color. It's called Vintage Photo, and I love it. And I'm going to use it to distress also here. So you'll see me here. I'm just tap, 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 tap. I'm going to load up the stamp, and we are actually going to have the stamp work out this time. So the You're My, come on, Whitney, you could do it this time. Please, please let it work out. You guys have no idea how many times I cut this little white stamp out and tried it. There were a lot of fails. So I'm like, there's the You're My. Now there should have been a space between the E and the M, but because of the way it works, there's no empty ones. So it is what it is. You guys let me know at the end. This is the part that I'm not too happy with, is this tag. But you'll let me know at the very end of this DIY with this little picture if this is something that you guys like or not. My husband said the same thing. He said, it's very cute. Now, of course, I said, please let me have your honest opinion. Don't tell me it's pretty just because you're married to me and you're possibly afraid of me. Kidding. And he said, no, same thing. It does, because of that, the space for the apostrophe is so wide that it looks weird, in my opinion, that the M is so close to the E. But I also might be overthinking it and picking out the little tiny details that really don't matter. You guys let me know. So if any day now, Whitney, can you please just stamp the sunflower? Jeez, girl. There we go. So the You're My Sunflower turned out great. Now I also have this little puppy pad thing underneath that might have been causing me to push harder. So we'll just take that into effect too. Stamp on a solid surface. So here you'll see, this is like a scrapbooker's kind of like behind the scenes little hack. To add color or vintage or, you know, it's called vintage photo, but to add a vintagey feel or to add, you know, distressing, you can just swipe the edges of your cardstock against the pad itself. You don't actually have to stamp on it, or you can drag, you know, they make little smudgers, they make little, you know, dauber things with sponges on them. And then also the baby wipe trick works with this stuff too. It also will kind of blur your ink a little bit, and you can kind of, you know, just rub things over lightly, see how far it smears. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to get this tag to look like it's been through some stuff. It's had a hard life, but now it's happy because it's in a picture frame. I don't know, create a story, whatever you got to do to get through it. So I kind of just started putting little creases in it, adding a little bit more ink. And then, you know, also I use my fingernails as tools a lot, guys. And I just got them done before. See, look, there's behind the scenes. There's all my practice. You're my. So you know, behind this tag, there's a bunch of practices. And on the back of that tag was an even worse one because I tried to smear it off with a baby wipe and it just made mud. It was great. It was really great. So anyhow, what we're going to do is we're just going to reinforce this tag because it was a thinner cardstock. The white stuff was like super thin paper, and then the other was a cardboard. So I had to cut off a little bit to make it match, and then just distressed it a little bit more. And then at some point, I actually distress it with the black ink as well. I think I do that after I add this little bit of twine. This twine came with the Dollar Tree metal tags, but it's just twine, so it's no worries. Just find some twine. And then I took a tumbling tower block, and we're going to raise it up off of the sign just a little bit, because remember, this is like a shadow box type thing we're going to put in there. So with some wood glue and some hot glue, I'm just attaching that to the back of the sign and just kind of measuring out, making sure everything fits. And I'm taking some raffia, and I'm going to take out a little bundle, and I'm just going to cut it and kind of move it all around, and I'm going to glue it on either side of that tumbling block. And what I wanted it to look like was, you know, kind of scarecrowy, kind of hay bale-y. I just wanted it to look super country, super farm, super, you know, happiness. Like I was thinking corn mazes and pumpkin patches and everything, even though there's absolutely no corn or pumpkins in this video. But still, it was one of those things. Oh, excuse me, Gus. Falling off my own chair. It's a good thing you guys can't see me right now. It's funny. So I just kept cutting and adding and cutting and adding. And I had to be mindful that I wasn't kind of going overboard. Make sure that the tag covers it, and then also make sure that it fits in the frame that we're doing. So stick your tag on, and I brayered and did my little roller down to make sure I had a good adhesion, and then added some more, kind of put it back on. I did this many times. Added the top, took it back off, added more raffia, added the top, took it back off, added, you know, go back and forth till you're happy. And then I clean the glass very good before you put it together, because the worst thing is to see a big old juicy thumbprint or something else loose inside there. You can clean the outside when you're done, but make sure you get that inside super clean before you glue this together. So I just used hot glue, by the way, but I got this all trimmed up to make sure everything was going to fit inside, and I just used my hot glue. And I remember I get that Adtech glue off of Amazon, and it does specifically say it's good for metal and wood. It's not good on glass. In my experience, I can tell you it does not work on glass that well, but I don't think many hot glues do. But so far, I've got a cute few projects I've made with just my glue sticks here, and they're working out pretty good. So again, that's AdTech not wood glue, it's AdTech hot glue sticks. But there she is. What do you guys think? I think I may have distressed it a little bit wrong, but you guys tell me what you think about that little stamp, the You're My Sunflower. Now, this was not my plan to begin with. I'm happy, I'm not happy. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't know if I like it. I think it's one of those ones where I don't get super excited, like, oh, I love it, I want to take it home and name it George, but you guys tell me. Oh, maybe I'll keep it in the kitchen and name it Sam. I don't know, you guys tell me what you think. I still love it. I still like the raffia. I like the combination, and those rub-on transfers, they're different, but they're very good. So you guys let me know your thoughts. Now here, we're moving on to the second one. This is going to be a little bit of an easy, somewhat fast. Well, fast for me, fast for Whitney, you could say. Remember this little guy here? This was a little container thing I got from the 66% off. I didn't get there when it was 90. I got it when it was 66% off spring shop at Hobby Lobby. And in my live stream, I had said I bought these tread wheels here at the wood pile in that wood aisle down in Hobby Lobby to make feet out of it. And I left this in because I did not leave these on. I ended up not putting any feet on this little container because I felt like it looked weird. And then every other option that I had that I could think of, I mean, my creativeness was not working this night when I was making these. I was just like, what am I going to do? So I had clamps and wood glue out because I was going to glue 2 together and make 4 sets of 2 and then put them on the bottom, such as you're seeing here. Nothing worked together. I thought putting them in closer, moving them around. I tried a bunch of stuff. So I ended up scrapping it and saying, okay, I'm just going to leave it the way it is and we will just continue. So block of styrofoam. You can get squares just the same shape as that at Dollar Tree. This is the rest of the raffia I had in a really old bundle, so I just tucked that around. I'm not using glue on this one either because this is going to be something you can interchange should you choose to. And this is a bundle. Both of these are from Hobby Lobby. This greenery bundle is brand new. I have not used it for anything, but I've had it for a while. But they do still sell that at Hobby Lobby. I've seen it in their greenery aisle. So go when their stuff is 50% off because the greenery doesn't go on sale like seasonal stuff does. And then these sunflowers I've had for a couple years, but they are Hobby Lobby also. I thought that the bright yellow with the dark middles, they're very good quality for artificial flowers. And again, they're from Hobby Lobby. Most of Hobby Lobby's flowers and florals are on point. I've never had a problem with anything looking really bad or fake. Like, I know it's fake, but it doesn't scream at you, I'm fake! It's just, they look good. So I used the rest of this bundle because I had used them on a different project many years ago. But I really, really like the way it turned out. And then that little guy, just couldn't get him in there, so I'm saving it off to the side. Cutting a couple more green bundles and just kind of filling in my behind the scenes or any little holes you might find. And that's it. I think that the bright yellow looks great with this blue color. For some reason, I'm really into mixing the bright yellow of a sunflower with any kind of blue. And it's a good, like a fall type blue. It's not a bright cobalt blue, but even then that looks good. With sunflowers or lemons, I love that bright blue color. But this is more of a muted fall look. Now that's a candle stem under there, candlestick from Dollar Tree, but that's just for the staging purposes. It's not attached. But that's what she looks like. Look how cute she is. And you guys, I'm sure anybody else could do it way faster than me. It's styrofoam and 2 bundles, a little bit of raffia. Okay, now, this one, even easier. We're not putting any florals on this. This is a cutting board that I got at Hobby Lobby. Now, I did not get this recently during all this wonderful sales or anything that people have. I've had this for years, probably maybe 3 years, in my stash. It's been sitting in my room, and I had originally planned on putting lemons on it, but I thought, tis the time to use this. And it's hanging in my kitchen right now, I'll tell you that, because I love how it turned out. It's very simple, but very effective. Now, these IOD transfers, this is my first time using an IOD transfer. I've got transfers from a maker's studio. I've got them from Amazon and Dollar Tree. These are just a different animal. They are beautiful. And this is the set called Planter Leaf Florals, as I'm trying to read sideways. And I'm going to use these 2, well, no, I'm not going to use 2, but I'm going to use these little sunflowers here out of the set. It also comes with lavender and some peonies. They're beautiful. These things are like putting hand-painted art down on your work. It just, on your projects, it's just amazing. They're very good quality. Now, they are not cheap either, but, excuse me, guys. Small investments make the difference. If you can cut a corner and it still looks great, which we do a lot of times, we're able to make some great, beautiful things from Dollar Tree. This right here, I am not mad at all. I am not mad at all. It's so beautiful. And I got any of this IOD stuff that I get, You can either get from a maker's, no, sorry, not a maker's studio. You get from, I went to Milton's Daughter, and that is through Crafty Kathy. She has a link, and I love watching her videos, and I love her style. I love her technique. I love her as a person. She's a great person, and she has a link for Milton's Daughter because her link gives her subscribers, which I am a subscriber to her, 10% off all IOD products. Now, they sell other things like DIY paints and things, and a lot of you have suggested those paints to me, and I haven't gotten them yet, but the IOD products through Milton's Daughter, they give Crafty Kathy's viewers 10% off. So should you want to try this out, you get you an IOD stamp set, see if this is something you like, just test it out, go ahead and get on there. I'll put a link in my description to Milton's Daughter so you can see, and then also to Kathy's page so that you can see exactly what she has and how her subscribers benefit from it. I don't know that I'm at the level yet that I can even get anyone to give me that type of endorsement. But these are turning out great. So as you see here, as jabbering through that is my ticking stripe. I believe it's a webbing I got at burlapfabric.com. I have just a small roll of it, as you saw, a very tiny roll, but I love it. It's that burlap with the black ticking stripe on it. Makes me so happy. So I'm just going to secure it in the back with hot glue and my staple gun and my little baby hammer because it didn't go all the way through the wood. So what I did is just, I'm gonna just put enough around to put a stripe in it, and I'm gonna put a little hem in that, glue that down, push it down with my brayer, and then put another couple staples on it and call it a day. Hammer those in. So now this is all I'm doing to it, and then the rest of it is just placing down my transfers. Now once you take these out, they're minimally sticky, but they're nothing like those Amazon rub-on transfers we just used, but they're minimally sticky. So once you take them off the backing, if you stick your finger on that, it's gonna stick to it. But you have you have the ability to kind of move them around your project. So I put the flower down, and I've got a couple leaves, and then here's my third, fourth leaf, and it's so beautiful. And then for a good idea, because I'm gonna put this in my kitchen, and again, I live in a very dry climate, you don't have to seal them if you don't want to, but I am going to seal it with just some clear wax. And all I'm doing is just putting a nice layer of clear wax on here with a cloth. And I'm rubbing it in, and I'm not going to go over it again once the wax is dry because I don't want it to be shiny. You can buff it out once it's done and dry, and that will make it shiny, but I like the way it looks here, like a matte finish. So this is how it is. I waited, I took these pictures and did this video with the studio lights after it's dried, and look how beautiful it is. It's very simple. You guys can get smaller cutting boards and use any kind of IOD transfers or any other regular transfers you want, sunflower transfers. You can achieve the same look, obviously for much less than I paid for that cutting board, because that cutting board I've had for some time. Okay, now this one here, guys. She was beautiful, but what I've done here is amazing. And I'm happy. I'm proud of it. So I got this for $3 on clearance from $12.99. This was a Hobby Lobby purchase I just recently got when I did the big old haul. Now the beads, great idea. I will be stealing this idea on probably a future DIY, but take those off and then get your sticker off. And now here is an IOD mold, and I got some air dry clay. I'm going to use some cornstarch, and I'm going to do this sunflower one. Now again, same thing. I got this sunflower mold on Milton's Daughter, and I used Crafty Kathy's discount code, so go ahead and check that out on her page, as well as at the checkout you put a different code in. I think it's Crafty Kathy 10, gets 10% off all IOD items. So I got 10% off my transfer, 10% off my mold and my clay. Now I know you can get air dry clay from Amazon. I've seen a lot of people use that. They don't use this. I just bought that because I was there at the time. Might as well get it all together. And this their molds are awesome, and you can also use them for for like resin. And then also I put hot glue in it too. I've gotten quite a few molds, a couple from Maker Studio and some Amazon ones, and I tried this one as well. You can put hot glue in them and it doesn't damage them. They're silicone. They're just like the little mats and the little finger protectors and everything. They're pretty much, they're food safe as well, I believe. Check your packaging, but all you're doing is just, and they have this ridge around the edge. It's so easy to run your thumb or your finger across it, and you get a perfect little, edge on it. And then it just pops out because we used enough cornstarch. And then I've watched Kathy use a lot of wood glue on the back of hers. I've also seen Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs use wood glue. There's a bunch of people that I watch that have seen them use different glues. Crafty Kathy loves to use the wood glue, so I've been using it. This is my first time as well, so it's not like I'm telling you I've used it because I'm experienced at it. But once it dried, it did crack. Now, I looked on the packaging and I looked it up online. They said that's normal for air dry clay. Also, I live in a very dry climate. I live in the deserts of Nevada. Anyways, it's a dry climate. I'm sure the clay probably cracked a little bit more for me than it would you guys, but they also said that, you know, embrace it and use it towards that vintagey feel. And I was like, okay, I like what your package is telling me. I like what you're putting. I'm picking up what you're putting down. So I agreed to go with it. And at the end, you guys, with the way we're going to paint this, again, I'm using now Cashew Color Waverly chalk paint, and I'm going to cover the whole back in the flower. If you saw there, because again, I'm jibber jabbering through this instead of telling you guys what I'm doing. I'm just talking too much, am I right? I put some masking tape around the sides because I'm not painting that frame. That frame is covered in some sort of like veneer, so I had to glue a couple pieces back down. Remember, this little girl was on clearance for $3. Nobody wanted her, but I did. So I have the masking tape around the sides. I did 2 coats of that cashew before, and I let it dry in between because I didn't know how the clay was. I waited for the clay to dry completely, but I know I've heard a few people in their videos saying you don't have to, but I did. Now we're adding the Waverly Antique Wax, and this was amazing. It came to life, and I was getting excited for this. So I'm just loading it up here with my brush, and then I take a baby wipe, and you start to just pull that off, and it stays in those creases. It stays in those little divots and little details here and there. I'm adding it to the sides just so I can kind of get the antique look all the way around it, and then I'm kind of taking the bristles of my brush and pushing it into the ends and the edges down between the actual air dry clay piece and it's not canvas, but and the actual picture. Then I'm adding some more darker color to the corners and the edges. Just do what makes you think this is how you want it to look. Whatever makes you, it'll start to come together, and whatever makes your heart happy, you'll just start seeing it. So I started adding more, take a little bit off, add more, take a little bit off. That baby wipe starts to become also the same color, and at that point you're not doing that. So I wanted to add some more around the edges and more around the actual middle of the sunflower. And I just went back and forth until things started to look the way I wanted them to, and you'll start to see that the project just starts to speak to you, and it just takes on its own role. And then it's done. So here I'm going to add all kinds of goodies now too, because we're still not done. So this is an old Michaels ribbon I got a couple years ago. It's a navy blue color, and it looks really beautiful with these, you know, darker browns and creams. This is obviously you guys know that Dollar Tree webbing ribbon came out this year. That's the cream color one. So I just picked a strip of the cream color webbing. I did like a loop bow with the navy blue, and I'm doing a finger bow, like you wrap it around your fingers with the twine, but then it came undone. So I was like, okay, lay it flat and we'll try this again. So wrapped it around all 4 of my fingers, and I'm kind of spreading my fingers out to make it wider. And that's about 4 times, so it's not that big. Cut another piece of twine, wrap it around the middle, and tie a knot on the back. And then you're done. I know you guys have been asking me for some bigger bows, and some of you miss my old bows, my grand bows that take a lot of time and you have to hold them with your thumb pit. They are coming soon. I will be doing a swag soon, so you guys will see me do a crazy big elaborate bow. But these little bows are super easy and fun, and they're also really good for beginners. If you think you have bow issues, or you just don't, my bows don't look that good, it's really easy just to practice with just some loops. And even then, if you don't want to do loops, just do strips of ribbon and tie them in the middle, and you'll see how easy things start to come together. Add a loop here and there. Sometimes I don't even do 2 loops. I do 1 loop, and it looks like, you know, something that goes on a gift bag. It's super cute. So I cut the edges off of that down, and I shortened that Dollar Tree ribbon. Then I put it down on there, and I put it, you saw me glue that down before I put the bow in there. That was to add something to glue items to. I didn't want to put styrofoam in here. So I took those edges off. I basically dovetailed that Dollar Tree ribbon that's at the back, the little webbed stuff. And I used the pieces I cut off as like a buffer underneath, so I have, you know, something more for the items to grab onto as we glue them in. So these other picks, everything here, again, Hobby Lobby I've had for some time. The pick with the berries on it, the pick with the wheat, it's all stems from Hobby Lobby's fall stuff that I've probably had for years. But again, they bring them out every year, and I've seen them in their stores even this year. So, or something comparable. It's just one of those things where if you can't find the exact same item, you guys, it'll be fine. Just find something comparable. And here I kind of just left most of this in so you guys can see. Now I did speed it up 6 times. Yes, that's correct. 6 times, because you guys, this was like 35 minutes of Whitney just moving things around, cutting things off, digging, moving, digging, moving, digging, moving. It's like, Whitney, what? I don't even remember doing it, you guys. See, that's how long. You kind of go into another world. You're into like another mode. So I only used 2 of the berries too. I didn't pick anything else, but I did take the leaves off that berry bush also. And then the green bush, I didn't know I would use. I thought I wanted to use the green, but the green seemed a little bit too bright. So I just pulled the little orange guys off of there. They're like little foam. It's like a little foamy type foliage type bush, and it's super cute. It had pip berries on it too, but the green was a little bit, again, it was too springy green for this particular project. I also was trying not to go too nuts because I don't want to cover up our pretty sunflower, because she's the main event. You can't literally cover up the whole main event. Also, I'm super proud of it. It's my first air dry clay and using a mold, and I love it. I like anything that you can make without having to use a dang vinyl machine, you know? I mean, I have a little one. I keep forgetting the name of it. I have a little Cricut thing, but I haven't really put that much effort into it just because I'm not paying for design space. I mean, everyone has their own opinions. You got your own stuff, and I am not knocking you if you do. We are all here and we all create differently, but I just don't feel like I need to pay you $10 a month in order to use other people's ideas. You know what I'm saying? We all can benefit from it. Also the machines and the vinyl and the cutting and the I'll probably make that switch or have some sort of turnaround later, but also it's like I don't want to do a video where I feel like I need to have a sponsorship in order to use it. You know, I just want to do things that kind of are easy and somewhat fun, and you can use them over and over again, and I don't have to worry about anybody telling me you can only use this for yourself. So if I want to sell this, I'm gonna sell it. But there, I just added stuff to the bottom corner, just a couple pieces here and there, and then just, you know, little pieces you cut off, and as you work it starts to come together, and look how perfect it is. I love the way this turned out. That antique wax dried perfectly in the middle. You'll see here it did dry a little bit darker, but it looks amazing to me. It looks absolutely amazing. And also that navy blue shows through now when you got in the studio lights. Sometimes the lighting in my actual craft room isn't as good. Now I'm using a pretty awesome ring light, but yeah, I also have a way to turn the filter. I might have it turned up to yellow. But tell me what you guys think. So for the frame was $3.24, and the rest of it all came together with little pieces and remnants, and then that clay mold. I can't help it. I love it so much. It's a very good antique-y type, you know, classic, more traditional type fall, but more sunflowery. So this is something you could still kind of throw out a little bit towards the end of summer. Doesn't actually just scream fall to me yet, but you can get away with that by putting that out during the summer if you had to. You guys tell me what you think. I love it. So all of these five DIYs were so much fun, and of course all the sunflower themed things, and then also right here trying to not let those little mushrooms steal the show, because I got way too excited over them. Like I ran into my husband's room, I sent pictures to my sister, I went and called her, I was like, did you see the mushrooms? And now she wants some mushrooms. I got some blue ones for her, but she doesn't know it yet. I'm gonna do like a little bit of a blue fall thing for her, and that'll probably be in one of my videos coming up too. I got some blue crochet pumpkins from Dollar Tree, and it's gonna be pretty. You guys will love it. So a couple of real easy ones, a couple real fast ones, but everything here can be duplicated, and everything here I would love to see it. If you guys make anything or recreate anything, please send me a picture through Instagram. It's the best way to get a hold of me, and I love to see the stuff you make. You guys are so talented, and I love having all of you artsy, crafty, creative, talented people in my community. The love you guys have shown me and the support has been awesome. I want to thank every single one of you for everything you've done, all of your kind comments. I mean, I was in tears the other day. Good tears, you guys. Good tears, because you guys are just so amazing. So there's all 5 of our pretty girls. I had a lot of fun. You guys tell me what you think below. Just say hi if you have to. And again, I want to thank all of you for anyone who's supported me on my coffee page. Every little bit counts. Never required. Always appreciated. And with all that said, thank you guys so much. I love every single one of you more than I could possibly express in words. So have a great day. And what's my normal? Many hugs. Happy crafting. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye for now.